everybody, thanks so much for tuning back in. Today, our adventure, we're going to share with you all of the stuff that we bought in preparation to move into the RV for day one.
In addition, it's our season 1 finale, and we are so excited to share with you our future goals and hopes for the community and the channel, so stick around, it's going to be a good one.
Let's turn off the love.
It was about a year ago when we moved out here to Arizona, and we were staying in the Airbnb in Glendale, and we had the idea of tiny home, and there was a company that we researched before we got out here that we were excited to see, and we saw right away we already adopted minimalism when we really had our mindset that the tiny home was next for us. And we went out and we saw the builder and we saw the tiny home.
Yeah, they were based right here in Phoenix, so we had been researching this builder for months leading up to our move to Phoenix in general. So it was our top thing we wanted to do when we got here.
Yeah, so we went pretty early, we barely were settled in, and we went and looked at them, and it just, you know when you know, it just, there wasn't that feeling of like, this is it. The size was fine, like the construction, the company was great, but there just wasn't that like feeling of this is it. So we were like, kind of went back to the drawing board of like, what was gonna be next? And as we went to our second Airbnb and got a rental property, we still were just like, what's gonna be next and where are we gonna move and all of that. And then the next thing I know, I have a calendar invite for a business meeting.
That's true. This is my business partner, my life partner, and my wife. But so yeah, she got a. That's how we separate. Sometimes is I'll send business request meetings, or at least that was the start of that approach. So it was a total surprise to her. But essentially, what it was is I had a PowerPoint presentation ready to go. And I have this dream of getting my family off grid. You'll see like when I get vegetables and stuff, and I'm now harvesting the seeds, I'm trying to get all those planted. My dream is to like be fully sustainable, self-sustainable with waste, power, and water, and then eventually also just start like living amongst our food. That really is my dream. And essentially, that's what the presentation was about, and the meeting was about in general. It was about just sort of guiding us one step closer to this idea of like, are we on the same page here? Are we working towards the same goals?
And I was like blown away with the PowerPoint. It was very detailed of not only ideas, but a business plan and really just how to get us off grid and build a community. And from there I could start to see it. And with that, we also realized, with the resources right outside of Phoenix here in Arizona was not the place to buy land and do that. So that's kind of what also led us to. Then we pulled up the map and we're looking at land all across, like, well, where could we potentially, buy that land and be off grid?
And researching laws was a big part of that. I mean, like harvesting water in the state of Arizona was the reason that we ruled Arizona out. Feel free to check those laws out for yourself. I won't pretend to be an expert on laws, but and that's kind of where the research started, and realized we needed to scope out and check out a lot of different places before we just invested all of our livelihood into building a dream someplace we've never been.
Yeah, so that's kind of what led us to then the RV, and okay, how do we travel around and visit all these places and maybe find somewhere, that we would want to have the land to build this community and be off grid.
And really, essentially what that idea came down to was before the RV came into play, when it was still that PowerPoint presentation, despite all the business aspect to that presentation, what it essentially was a hope and a dream and a desire to build a community of really great like-minded people. And I think somewhere in that process, in discovering that our community, like there are a lot of like-minded people already out there, right? Like we don't have to invest every penny we have into this perfect thing before we have community. And then I think that's kind of where you guys come in, the YouTube channel came into play.
For sure, we thank you guys so much by you watching and subscribing and sharing. It supports us so much, and we're so excited to get out there and find more like-minded people and inspire like-minded people.
Absolutely, and so one of our biggest goals as we travel, it is a desire to travel and to be adventurous, because man, that desire lays deep within, I think, both of us, but it's also like, let's learn from people who are already living sustainably with the land, like raising buffalo. There's a beautiful buffalo farm right here in the Phoenix area that we hope to visit before we hit the road in April, and there are eco-villages and there are all these amazing places, and we want to come and visit all of you amazing people and hear about all the wonderful research you're doing and all the amazing things you guys are doing, and just be inspired by you, and hopefully to cycle that inspiration and love into a fully sustainable community together.
And we hope by sharing our journey with you that you guys will be inspired to follow your dreams and be a part of the community. And we hope to meet up with you one day and learn about your adventures and really just being able to share what it takes to live your dreams on the day in and day out.
Yeah, and live an active lifestyle and really embrace that community together. You know, we ultimately believe in a collective consciousness. We believe we're all in this together, and we just want to build a community that's, you know, moving towards love and dreams and hopes together versus, you know, any of that outside noise, right? And so I think without further ado, as we teach you to embrace minimalism, it seems like no time more perfect than to show you all the things we had to buy to hit the road and live in that RV full-time day one. For you, that'll be the premiere of season 2, which is next Thursday. We will start releasing a video every Thursday. We hope you join us along. Season 2 will be learning the ropes on how to use all this stuff. Shall we show them?
Let's take a look.
So category number 1, you've gotten to where you're gonna set up camp. All the things you need to make sure the rig is fully secure, not gonna roll away or be unlevel. So take it away, what do we got over there?
Yeah, so the first thing is our Legos, our RV Legos. So we got 2 packs of these. These are in case we need to build to be level, right? Because we can't guarantee that everywhere is gonna have that nice flat concrete RV spot, especially as we go off grid.
Number 2, heavy duty rubber chocks, so that you put on either side of the wheels, you can't roll away, basically.
Those are step number 1. And then we got the snap pads. These are to make sure that our metal jacks will never be on concrete, especially if it's hot. Gives us a little bigger surface, makes it rubber. So we'll add these on day 1.
And then X chocks. These go between the wheels. These are just more secure than basically the blocks. Get the drill out. These open up, secure. We'll show you a picture of those one day, I'm sure, but those, again, just to secure the rig from rolling.
And they lock. All
Yes.
right. And then we got our Anderson leveling blocks. All right, so this is if we need to level from left to right.
Yep.
So there's 1 pair, 2 wheels on each side, so you'd only use them on one side if we need to level left to right.
All right, so securing and leveling the rig.
I think we're set. All right, everybody's favorite topic of the RV, entering the sewer.
This is probably the change of RV life that we are the most intimidated by, but I've agreed to, you know, take the lead on this one. And I'm excited to do it. I've done a lot of research. So, first thing, all the gloves we ever might need. I plan to take them off anytime I might have to touch anything other than these things. Sanitation, at least day 1, I guess ask me in a few years, but it's high priority. I am also considering some N95 masks, because I don't know if I ever want to re-smell my own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of smell.
Oh yeah. Liquefied RV treatment. So as we learned in our RV tech school, the importance of treating the black tank, your sewer. So this isn't every time, so we'll be using this. We got a couple of these to get started.
So essentially bacteria and enzymes is, I believe, how it works. So that's an every time thing. This is a probably once a month thing. We plan to go as mostly natural as we can. As you know, we upgraded the toilet to full flush, so we'll be able to keep water in the bowl as a odor seal, essentially, just like in a regular sticks and bricks home, except for when we're driving. We gotta actually keep that in mind. Make sure the toilet's full.
Yeah, you're right.
Add it to the checklist.
Okay.
Okay, but so yeah, so for the things, and so in addition to thinking about chemicals in the toilet,
Right, thinking about what goes in the tank. So a couple changes we have made is no bar soap. We'll switch to liquid soap, but we also switching to the laundry sheets, so washer sheets. So they dissolve. One, it'll be less weight for us to carry. We don't have to worry about getting rid of the plastic, but also hopefully better for our tanks.
yeah, you want basically things, what is it, suffoctants? You guys will correct me, let me know, but things that don't get sudsy a lot. You can't do the bar soap because it's made of clay. Like, you have to think about like emptying and cleaning those tanks. You want things that either dissolve solids or things that don't need to be dissolved.
Right. So if the soap started as a solid, it will then re-solidify.
Which brings me to the other solid you have to flush. So getting specific, basically septic safe toilet paper. We got the Scott's Rapid Dissolve, but any septic safe toilet paper so that it breaks down very quickly and becomes more liquefied for that emptying process.
Hopefully all these things help. All right. We got one of these installed on day one, the extra valve. So we'll be able to show you this. So this from our sewer tank gives us one extra stopper before it comes out. Just in case.
Just in case anything jiggles down the tube, we have basically a safety net, and we got the heaviest duty tubes that you could get, the extreme Rhino Flex. We got two 10-footers and a 5-footer.
Hopefully we don't need it that long. All right, super important. Okay, so the 90s to connect at the sewer clear allows you to flush till you're clear. So just to be able to monitor what's going on is going to be important.
And then this is like basically a slinky so that you can slope the sewer hose so that it's going downhill towards the drain from where your tanks are.
So gravity can help you do the job.
You better believe it. And then lastly, a specific black tank hose, so that the hose that goes into the black tank is never then the hose that goes into our fresh water. Again, sanitation is key. And then I've got a couple 45 and 90-degree elbows along with
this guy.
the donut to seal, to odor and moisture seal the sewer opening on the ground.
Make sure you got a good fit. Yeah. So hopefully we are set to empty those tanks.
Let me try again. I can't grip it anymore. I'm practicing before it's foolish.
I don't think that's the type of gloves they recommend typically.
This is serious.
I know.
It's a good thing we're doing a dry run.
Yeah.
Literally, a dry run. Man, that thing just turns.
Mm-hmm.
This thing's too fat for my hand. I think it's time to get Google involved.
Okay, so after doing just a little bit of research, we realized that there was a tool that you can get. So we ordered that right now so that we can be able to get the adapters off. Definitely glad that we did a dry run, literally dry run, before we were out at the site, and it was our first dump.
All right, so the third category of RV life adjustments is water, and that's actually what I expect, I should say, to be one of our biggest challenges is having plenty of water for showers, laundry, all of those sorts of things, but then as well, clean drinking water. And we got 4 3-gallon jugs. We went with 3-gallon over 5-gallon, so they could be used multi-purpose as potentially like workout equipment, but also so that sometimes a 5-gallon jug can be a lot to manage, and so that we're never having to manage all these larger 5-gallon jugs.
As well as the height difference for storage in the pantry. I didn't want to give up that much height. as we anticipate these going in the bottom of the pantry. So kind of measured and thought through that and went with the 3 gallons.
Yep. And then the Brinkley itself comes with a 65-foot hose. But should we ever need an extension, we don't want to use our black tank one, so another additional hose.
For clean water.
For clean water.
And then we got a water dispenser, which will go on top of any of these jugs to dispense it out just like a fountain. So you're not having to worry about pouring.
Yep, and then hooked up directly to the rig. This is a water pressure gauge, so we'll show you when we hook that up. But that's so that, you know, as we go to all these different places to fill water or connect to water, you know, you don't know what type of pressure is coming out of there. And this is so that we can regulate it and protect the pipes in our rig.
And then we got the water filter. So this will go directly before anything touches anything of our RV, because you never know when you're hooking up, different sediment, different things could be in the water. So even though it doesn't make it necessarily drinking water, it's going to protect all of our pipes and our water pump and all of that to purify it.
And then because even in Arizona, those cold desert nights do really get freezing, and sometimes you have to connect water you know, on the regular like that, but also every time you set up, you have to connect water. And so we bought a bunch of quick connects so that our knuckles aren't getting beat to death every time we're trying to connect and reconnect and unconnect these hoses. We have a simpler way to do that. So some brass quick connects.
All right, and then we got a flow meter. All right, so this detects, you put it on the hose, and it's gonna tell you how many gallons went through. So whether we're filling in our tanks, we can keep track of that, or if we do tests to see how much water, you know, measuring how much water we use in a day or for a shower, we'll be able to gauge the flow and measure that.
And then one thing, the last thing that you don't see here today is just a Y splitter for at the connection, so we can go right to the rig as well as have an additional hose connection to either release pressure or to use additional water. And so that's water in the RV essentials.
Here we go. All right, up next is electricity, which you've seen most of that already. It's been installed, it's hooked up, it's now a part of the rig. But a couple things that for hooking up to the site, this one here is gonna be our surge protector to plug in, because you never know. Again, when you're going to different RV resorts and hooking up at different spots, you don't know the condition of the electric pedestal, the water, so being able to check that and be secure. So this is our 50 amp, which will then connect to then the rig for the 50 amp. This one is if we are at a site and unfortunately they only have 30 amp, we'll be able to plug in 30, converts to our 50 amp plug with a built-in surge protector for the adapter. So we got this one as kind of the 2-in-1.
But as you know, our goal is to do a lot of boondocking. So we've got over 700 watts of solar. We've also got the generator, should we ever need it, that as a backup as well. And really hope to be getting off grid as much as possible. And one thing not pictured that has yet to be installed that will be a day one that will be our Starlink. We elected to go with a permanent mount to be able to use in motion so that we're not having to climb up and down every single time just to have internet access. But that was also part of the electrical upgrades for rvlife day one. Up next, RV specific tools.
Copy that.
So there were a few tools that we felt like we needed, starting with walkie-talkies for backing up the rig.
All right, walkie-talkie test. Let's do it. Mandy's gonna go that way.
Peanut butter. This is jelly time. Do you copy?
I copy, loud and clear.
We tested these when she went to work this week, rode her bike, and in
How far do you think we can go with these?
the city, we were able to get about 2 miles. I was just telling our Lesby Fit viewers that we were able to get 2 miles of city clearance cleared earlier this week.
Copy that.
Every major intersection. Location is 38th and Whitney. 38th and Whitney. Over and out. So we tested it on my bike ride this week to see how far. I checked in every intersection. First couple were loud and clear. After that, it didn't work.
All right, the next thing was a telescoping ladder. So it goes 15.5 feet, I believe. So the great thing about this is we'll be able to have access to the RV, not just from the rear with the ladder, but at other points you'll need to get to a slide or the front. You don't have to climb the whole roof. We gave this one a test.
Speaking of tests, there's no way I'm gonna be able to accurately eyeball if my 36 feet 1 inch rig is gonna be able to fit into a spot, so a 100-foot tape measure.
All right, so from here to the fence, here, step out, let them see how far the fence is. How long do you think that is? I'm gonna guess 55 feet. What's your guess?
48 feet.
Oh boy, okay. Let's see how good of eyeballers we are. 49 and a half feet. 49 and a half feet. Okay, so she's good. Don't trust me to eyeball it. She's good. So now we know.
So is
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, let's go this way. I think our whole RV would fit in our backyard.
Oh, it absolutely would. How far do you think it is? Okay, so I was way too long. I'm gonna say 22 feet.
18.
21.
And what'd you say?
22.
All right, so you were better on that one.
Okay, I corrected, I adjusted. But anyway, so we don't have to eyeball it.
Our last RV specific tool was getting a level. As we talked about with all this stuff in the first category, being sure we're level, this will help us be able to track that. Not only do we not want to sleep to one side, it's also not good for the rig to be able to use the slides and operate, or your tanks and any of that if you're not level. So, got the level.
This one's for you, Miley.
Dora, this one's for you. All right, so we got the portable fence for the dogs. It can go up to 36 feet in length, any shape or across, to give them some space to be leash free.
So that fencing really comes down to making the space feel like home. You know, we're moving into less than 300 square feet. It is an RV, but it is a tiny home, right? It's both. And it's not just about living with less stuff. It's actually really, for us, it's about living a more outdoor and active lifestyle and being outside more. And so it's really important to us that when we move into that tiny space, it feels like a home.
Yeah, for sure. And so some of the things that we got are to help us stay organized within this small space. And we go back and forth every day from, oh, all of our stuff is gonna fit, are we gonna have some extra space, to are we gonna be getting rid of stuff? So really it's a true question, like on day one, day two, once we get everything in there, do we have an extra drawer or cabinet, or are we like getting rid of stuff? Or did we nail it?
So we've been practicing, you know, we talk about visualization and we practice a lot of things before we do them. Like what happened, a new rug. So it's about practicing. So we practice a lot of things before we do them. So we measured the closet length.
So in the RV, I measured the length. It was 62 inches long, like hanger rod. The normal distance from the floor, so all that's the same. And so I came home and we have several closets in this house and everything's spread out. So our coat closet was 52 inches long. So I thought, what a great practice to visualize what does 52 inches of hanger clothes look like. So we moved all of our clothes that we plan to take that are must keeps into the coat closet.
Yeah, it's been great practice. And so, you know, in addition to making it feel like home, there's a few things that we had to, you know, that lifestyle adjustment, like brand new towels. So this is 8 large bath towels, but it's just a different style, so that they actually fit in the smaller washer and dryer.
Yeah, so this is 8 large towels as well as 8 hand towels, are all here together, which like 2 of our regular Costco cotton towels are that same height. So not only on storage of all of the towels and hand towels, but also them fitting into the washer more than 2 per load.
Mm-hmm. What I worry about most is not that are we going to physically be able to fit it in the storage space, but the weight. right? That first time that we tow the rig and go get on that cat scale, you know, are we under that 15,000 pound weight limit? I really have no idea.
And so we've kind of been learning what different things weigh. So we obviously have the scale. So like, you know, we had this debate on like, what does the ladder weigh? So weighing myself and then holding the ladder, and it weighs 30 pounds.
Yeah, it does. It weighs quite a bit, but it is, like she said, 15 and a half feet. Okay, so smaller towels to fit in there, as well as the bathroom. You know, you can't step out onto that vinyl flooring and not ruin it and be wet. So new bath mat, that's ultra lightweight.
Contact paper for all the shelves and all of that. So as the RV moves, you don't want to get there and have everything shuffled, as we've seen and heard. So before we put anything away, we're going to line everything with the contact paper to just kind of help things stick and stay in the same spot, whether it's, you know, your drawer, your cabinets, or once you go down the road. So
yeah, heavy stuff to the bottom, lighter stuff up top, right?
you got it.
Okay, so feeling like home, area rugs. So the big giant area rug for the middle of our main living space that stretches from the living area to the den, to the kitchen, to the dining room, a whopping 4x6er. And then of course our bedroom one, a 2x3, which you'll see on our move-in tour, what they look like.
Oh, and then bins. You'll notice our new colors. You want to tell them about our new colors?
So our blankets, as you see, pink, mustard, orange, purple. Think of a Phoenix sunrise or a Phoenix sunset. It's essentially an ode to Phoenix, which helped guide us to this journey for our decorative scheme. Again, part of feeling like home. But we did have to get smaller throw blankets. Again, we want something that we can wash on the regular, so it needed to be stuff that could fit into a smaller washer and dryer.
Yeah. So we got these bins that'll go in the cupboards or the closet to hold extra stuff. Kind of keeping things compartmentalized, I think, is going to be the key, which is kind of how we organize anyway.
You have to think, not only will it fit in the cupboard, but will it ride?
Yeah, so that'll be the real test, and then that's where these came in as well. Plenty of clear totes. These could be used in the pantry, in the bathroom, under the sink, in the fridge. And clear makes it accessible.
Yeah. And then lastly, about living outside more and feeling like home, a large, foldable, easy to carry, 9x12 outdoor area rug, so that when we step out of the RV, that space right there, it really feels like home. You know, you've got your outdoor cooking area, our chairs, the pups, and that fence. You know, again, making it feel like home and providing that sense of security as we travel.
Yeah, that'll give us an extra room outside, which is where we like to spend our time and where we want to spend our time. So that's all the stuff that we felt was necessary for day one. So check out season 2 premiere next Thursday as the RV gets delivered to the site, and we bring all of this with us to get the RV secured and start moving. So check out Move-In Day. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you get that notification next week. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch our journey thus far.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all of your support. If you're looking for another way to show your support, check out our merch on our Teespring store.